we are in the middle of our summer course. 4 days we already practiced according to Master Yao Zhuang method. Starting tomorrow there will be next 4 days according to Master Yao method, and today is a day free from the training anyway, free from training the Master Yao method, but instead we will focus on a bit different method of each one, coming from Wang Xiangjai's daughter Wang Yiquan, which is more about cultivating health. So today we will not be training, we will only be cultivating. So the terms in Chinese are lian, training, to train, and yang, to cultivate. So if you're focusing mostly on combative aspect, it's obviously training. But when you focus on health, it's cultivating. So those practices are more relaxed. When practicing for combat, even if you practice the basic methods like Zhan and Shili, okay, you start from relaxed, but then there is quite intense mind activity, quite intense work also of your body. But when you practice for health, it's all the time relaxing, it's feeling nice, it's feeling happy. So sometimes you can notice like people practice like for combat, more like this, okay, like this, even today on Facebook someone commented that maybe that the guy smoked something. So, but actually I remember one of our students when first time practiced this and got this very nice feeling and said, oh, now I don't need to smoke. So this is about nice feeling, and also you will notice that here we will not talk about so many details. So there's no need to remember so many things which are important when we do Master Yao Zhuang program. You need to remember some points, because if you don't remember them, then you will have difficulty with doing next kinds of exercises, including exercises with partner. So it's more strict about all those details. While here, when you practice for health, you don't need to think about developing fighting ability. What is actually important is to feel relaxed, to feel happy, to feel refreshed after the practice. So in the complete system, of course, we have those two parts: more relaxing, more yang, cultivating, and more training. Various people put more or less stress on those aspects. Some focus very much on the combative part and everything which is closely related to fighting. Some people focus on health part. Some only on the health part. They don't practice the combative side of each one. Anyway, the best is find some balance. Practice both ways. But in what proportions? Okay, if we talk about balance, we would think maybe 50-50. Okay, but it's individual. You don't need to be so much balanced. If everyone would be absolutely balanced, everybody would be the same, and people are different. They're inclined in different ways. So some more toward learning fighting, and some more toward cultivating health. Like one example, in one of the books about each one. I read the author giving advice that 70% should be cultivating and 30% training. Uh, like we learned with Master Yao Cheng Guang, I think it might be 90% fighting and 10% cultivating, but it depends. Especially young people, like now Master Yao is older and he's not teaching this local professional group, but years ago he was teaching those young guys who are coming for longer time to train each one and with focus on fighting. So they didn't put much attention. Okay, they started because relaxing. It's difficult to learn next methods if you don't start from relaxing body and calming your mind. So this is important. But when you able to achieve this state of some at least relative relax and empty mind, then okay, they mostly focus on fighting. But when some elder people come to learn, they are more interested in health. So the proportions are changing. Also, those young guys, after some years, they becoming older. Okay, they start thinking differently, and they start focusing also a bit more on the cultivating. Okay, so today cultivating, and we will start from to about Zhuang posture, which is basically the same as we practice in Master Yao method. So I will not explain now, just relax first, stand for a moment in natural position with your arms hanging loosely, and then assume about Zhuang posture and focus on relax, relax, feeling comfortable, calm, empty mind. If you are able to get into this state, in Chinese they say Zhu Jing, entering the non-movement or quietness. Okay, you enter this state. It's not only about mind but also your body. Feeling relaxed. Okay, you don't need to use more methods now, but okay, if you feel that some unnecessary thoughts are appearing or some tension appears in some parts of your body, use those methods which you already learned using mind activity, some images which help you to relax. But remember that those images are only tools. So don't imagine, don't visualize too hard. It's just getting some idea, some image which helps you to relax, okay, and get into this state of relax and calm, empty mind, okay. And then if you enter this state, just keep it. You lose it, then maybe you can use one of those methods. Also, this empty mind actually means awareness. So it's not really empty mind, it means calm mind. When your mind is calm, you don't need to effort, you need to try to concentrate on something. Okay, you just keep the natural focus. The main focus is on your body, but not only. Don't focus only on your body. Have some awareness of the area around you. Okay, practice. When Wang Xiangjai in 1950s was teaching in hospitals, he was mainly teaching Zhan Zhuang. Or Zhuang Gong would be better term because Zhan Zhuang, Zhan means to stand. So standing posts are Zhan. But actually, the method included not just standing, but also sitting or lying on bed, on your back or on your side. So this term Zhuang practice is better post practice, not just the Zhan, which refers only to standing. So very often people in hospitals, they were not even able to practice standing. Their condition was very bad, uh, so they started lying on the bed, not in one position, not only supinal, sometimes lying on the side also, to make some change gradually when their health improved, not just due to the practice, but due to some therapies uh, in the hospitals. But practicing was this Zhuang method was also a part of this. So when their health, their condition improved, they were sitting on edge of the bed or on the bed simply, or on the edge of the bed, then gradually trying to stand but with some support, and then gradually moving to Jandra, to standing posture. So this was the main part, but it was not only Jandra. Very often they were talking, or still are talking, about the Zhan method or Zhuang method, Jiansheng Zhuang, healthy body posts, or Yangsheng Zhuang, cultivating life posts, so cultivating health, but they also, in the Chinese, they call it cultivating life. But apart from this, Wang Xiangjai was teaching them some exercises which we call Shili normally in Yiquan. But according to his daughter, he had chosen some 10 exercises, modified them, and this became the set called Shijie Donggung, 10 sections of moving exercises. Uh, 9 of them are typical Shili. The 10th is Motabu, so-called friction steps. But as we know, Motabu also is described as Shili, but Shili for legs. So we could say that it's 10 Shili movements. Now we will focus on the one which is called Fen Bosch way, separating and moving water. So first I demonstrate. It would look like this. But what is important, of course, not just the movement, but the feeling. And this feeling you start developing through Zhuang, the posts. Starting from relaxing your body, calming your mind, developing awareness, so you can notice if there is not too much tension in some parts of your body, if your whole body is working together. This is beginning of developing so-called Hunyuan Li, unified homogeneous force or strength. Then when you start those moving exercises, you already should have a bit of this feeling, at least a bit of this, so you could work it when when practicing movement. Fan Bo Shui. First, we will start in Pimbu position, to make it simpler, with arms like this on both sides of your body, palms about your hips level, but you imagine something like the two walls on both sides of your body, and actually your palms are inside those walls. You're not able to take them out. Uh, please come here. Stand. You too. You too. Grab my wrists here on both sides with both hands. Okay. So now I don't have the walls here and not time for people to build the walls around my palms. So they represent the walls. When I'm trying to move my hands, try not to let this happen. Okay. Oh, I'm not able to move my hands, but I'm not using force, I'm not using effort, I'm not tensing, I'm relaxed. I'm doing this very lightly. I'm not trying to generate power like in forward direction, for example, but my whole body is relaxed. So when I try to move my hands forward, all result is my body moving back. Maybe stand at different angle, okay, like this. So here I push it forward very lightly, but this is enough to move my body back. Then I move my hand back with very small force, and this is enough to move my body forward. Because here in my hand there is some force. I'm using some force, very small, but I'm relaxed, so there's no need to use big force to move my body. So when I start moving my hands, force of reaction is moving my body in opposite direction. Okay, thank you. So let's start from something like this, but imagining those walls, your palms inside those walls, you being relaxed, using very small force, very subtle force, close to zero, moving very lightly. So because this force is very small, very close to zero, you feel very much relaxed. This is a very pleasant feeling. So, like in Zhan, like in Zhuang, you stay relaxed, in good mood, some slight smile might appear on your face, not too big, not too tense your face, and playing with this feeling. Here, hands pushing in one direction, body moving in opposite direction. Developing mostly this idea of uh, opposite forces between your arms and your body, and also developing this feeling of some power, some energy, some force moving you, not moving in normal way like you move just forward and backward, but you have this idea, directing force forward with your palms, with your wrist, with base of your palm, and as if there appears some force, some flow. So traditionally, we could use the term chi, like mind. First, there is mind. You're using some idea, using your mind, idea or will. Sometimes it's translated uh, because it's been translated in different ways. But when you don't have your own experience, you could interpret it the wrong way. When you start feeling things, then okay, we could use this word because it's not so important. You know what you're talking about because you got this feeling, and you can use different terminology to describe this. Okay, so creating this force, this energy moving your body. And opposite way. and it's not moving in normal way, but like some flow of some energy is moving your body. Okay, now when you got some feeling, you could imagine that you are standing in water. So it's not really about all the feelings related to standing in water, because when you standing in water, there is buoyance force lifting you up, uprooting. You don't want to feel this. So when you imagine that you're standing in water, it's good to think that your lower part, your legs, your lower abdomen are heavy, are solid, stabilizing. Only upper part is like floating in water. So lower part solid, upper part empty. This kind of thing. And standing in water. So when there were those walls, I was trying to move my palm, but it was not possible. In result, my body was moving back. Now, if I think that this movement is in water, everywhere here, I feel like moving through water. This creates force of reaction, which moves my body back. But at the same time, my hands not staying in this position, moving a bit forward. So there are two movements: hands forward, body back. Hands back, body forward. And okay, your hands moving in water, but your body is also moving in water. So on one side, you feel this force, this flow moving your body, but on the other side, you feel resistance of water. So when hands moving forward, body moving back, and feeling resistance here, body also becoming some resistance. But think about very small resistance. You could think about water, but using very small force, moving very lightly. So this feeling is very subtle. Idea of very small force. Like you think about this small force, it's very easy to keep relaxed, not slack, but relaxed at the same time, full of this force of this strength. Sung air pusher, relaxed but not slack. Gradually developing this feeling. It should be everywhere on the whole surface of your body and your arms, not just some part. The same feeling, the same amount of force everywhere throughout the movement. Also, the same amount of force, not becoming bigger, smaller. Movement not becoming faster, slower, but continuous. This is the basis. matter if you practice for health or combat, the beginning is the same. But for health, okay, usually you just practice like this. When practicing the combat method, then the next variants, next ways of practice, more demanding, starting from keeping this kind of uniform strength, constant speed, then gradually moving to changes. Because fighting is about changes and fast changes. When you practice just for health, you don't need to think about this. You can focus on those most basic practice, which is very pleasant. Okay, now in so-called Ding Pabu position. So one of your feet is in front and hand moving backward, shifting weight forward, hand moving forward, shifting weight back. Uh, Generally, weight will be more on your back leg, not moving too much forward. But 255 or 6 in front is okay. That's just not too much. Of course, except when you will be changing position by making step, or then you will shift weight more forward. So, how many percent, how distribution of weight, you don't need to think so much. Like when you are learning Master Yao program, okay, this is called 7 in back, 3 in front, 5-5. This 5-5 is very important. If you don't practice it this way, very strict way, then you will have problems with other exercises which are designed this way, especially practice with partner, because you need to have something like fixed form first to practice, to understand some principles before you move beyond this fixed form. So in each one we talk about formlessness, but if you start from formlessness, it's just chaotic movement and you don't learn. So first you need to have some fixed methods to learn the principles. When you understand the principles, when you feel the principles, you can become more free in your practice. Expressing those principles without sticking to fixed form. Okay, but this was talking about the combative method of Master Yao. Now, when you're talking this practice for her, you don't need to care about this. You don't want to process too much information. You want just to relax. You want to feel nice, relaxed, feel comfortable. So the second is called Zhou Qiu. This is idea as if rolling some ball on a table. Sometimes you can see videos with practice with big iron or stone ball. They are rolling it with whole body. But here, smaller balls, but two of them. Basic body movement will be the same as with Fen Bosch way. Hand movement, the main direction is forward and backward. So imagine, here is a table, two balls on top of the table. I put my palms on top of those balls. I roll them forward and I'm relaxed. So this very small force of reaction already moves my body back. I pull, and it creates some force, some energy, moving my body forward. But I just did pushing, pulling on straight line to make it simpler, but the actual movement is circular. So here, here. So here is pulling, here is pushing. Pulling and push. Pulling and pushing. When changing sides, not stopping, but use this feeling. So I'm in this position and I want to change to this. So I'm using pulling back, and I get the feeling of energy moving my body forward and to this position. Now I push, my body is moving back. I pull, my body is moving forward. I want to change to the previous position. I push and I'm here again. Several times, or about a dozen of repetitions on one side, and then change position. Practicing very lightly in very relaxed way, so you have the feeling of not using force, not using effort, but the energy moving. And the feeling is very nice, very pleasant, very comfortable, so makes you feel very well, with pleasant mood, some light smile appearing on your face. So getting high without smoking. The third of those 10 moving exercises is Bao-Chu, embracing both, but not embracing this way, but here between your palms. First, let's start in simplified way in so-called Pimbu position. Of course, the basic idea, feeling as if being in water. Now, keeping a big ball, like basketball, between your palms, okay, ball and your arm floating in water, and moving it to the left, moving it to the right. Of course, you're very much relaxed, you're not trying to oppose any force, so when you move it to the left, you feel that there appears force of reaction, there appears some energy which is moving your body in opposite direction. So hands left, body right, hands right, body left. Very lightly, very pleasant feeling. Nie skręcamy się. To nie jest ruch skrętu, tylko przesunięcie. Jak nasze stopy, barki są na tej linii, przesunięcie tutaj odbywa się po linii równoległej. This way. Not turning your body. Just moving left, right. Okay. Now, in Pabu position. This position is quite narrow, not wide, it's narrow. Wider, okay, you'd think more stable, but narrow means that you have chance to develop better feeling of balance, because balance is not just about very stable posture. Very stable posture would be lying on the ground like this. Okay, it would be very stable, no risk of falling down. But balance is about the ability of keeping balance in different various situations, while moving, while standing on one leg. So this narrow position gives you opportunity to work on your feeling of balance, ability of keeping balance. Hands left, body right. Hands right, body left. Now some change. So here's the main line. Here the line at 90 degrees. Okay, we were moving this way, but now we will change the angle a little bit. You see, your shoulders, your hips are not like this, like in frontal position, but at some angle. And now the movement of your hands, the line between centers of your palms, will be parallel to the line of your shoulders and your hips. Not here, but here. So actually your hands not moving only to the left, but to the left and a bit forward. So your body is moving to the right and a bit backward. Then hands right back, body a bit left and forward. And now changing sides. If here was the main line, the movement was here. Now if we stand like before with Fen Bo Shui and Zhou Fu Chu, we're standing, okay, he was kind of main line, but each time we're standing at some angle in relation to this line. Changing position here, changing position here. This basic line was here in the middle. So now I'm at some angle, but if I change like this, actually here's the main line and here's a cross. This line is at 90 degrees in relation to this line. So, but in relation to this line, it's at angle. So, left, forward, body moving, right and back. This one. And if you want to change position from left to right, don't stop and start again, but keep this feeling of this energy. Moving you here, moving you here. So now, hands to the right, body to the left, but here changing. Okay. And I moved to this position. I practice in this position. Now, similar way, changing here. So changes. Half of change hands in this direction, the second half this direction. Half of change here, the second half here. So this was very basic introduction to 3 of those 10 moving exercises. And now a bit of explanation how it relates to more advanced practice. So advanced practice is Zhan, which we often translate as health dance. Okay, it could be translated like this. It could also be translated as exquisite dance, something very high level. But this Zhan also can mean health, like part of Zhen Kang. So typically we say health dance. So before you can actually practice health dance, you need to practice Zhuang, and you need to practice Shi Li, basic Shi Li exercises to get the feeling of unity of your body, this connection, this energy, this strength, complete unified strength. Only then you can move to the stage of practicing freely. But it's also not that you just practice this movement and you start practicing freely. Actually, there are some stages where you start from some modifications of the basic movements, then switching between those movements, mixing them, also going through movements which you didn't learn in your basic practice, so it's becoming free, kind of formless. So here the first one was Fen Bo Shui. Okay, and in this method the typical way of basic practice is body and hands moving in opposite direction. Okay, but we could do the same direction, like for example in Master Yao method, in many combative variants of each one, because you want to generate power. Okay, you're using your whole body, not pushing and while pushing yourself back, but body and hand moving in opposite direction. But you already know that in Master Yao program we also have this with opposite directions, because when we practice with steps, forward, okay, it's pushing forward, but backward, it's hands start pushing, body moving back for some time before again body and hands are connecting and forward movement. So actually, Master Yao method, you have those two ways, and here also those two ways are practiced, but this with opposite directions between hands and body is more standard, more basic. So after some time you can make changes, you see. Sometimes my hands and body moving the same direction, like trying to move water, move something using my whole body power. Sometimes it's working with those opposite directions, relation between hands and body, this opposite relation. Also, okay, this movement is here, but you can see sometimes people practicing each one dance doing this movement here, because this is just basic exercise. Then you can do it at any level. You can do it like this, one hand higher, one hand lower. See, starting from the very simple movement to get the feeling, but then it changes into many other movements. So it was the first one. Second today was Zhou Fu Chu. Okay, we started body and hands in opposite direction, but could be the same direction. Also, direction of those circles could change. And here also two ways of practice, body and hands the same direction or opposite direction. Also, you could add body rotation and making circles like this, one direction or the other direction, or this way. So it's like in Master Yao program we call this Xuan Fa, Shili or Xuan Fa. Okay, you could change from horizontal surface to vertical surface to different angles. So such one simple movement, when you get the feeling, then you can play with many other movements and you feel that basically you're doing the same. It's not like learning many different movements, you're doing the same. Really many movements possible, but all based on the same. Or for example, this Bao Chu, practicing like this. But we could add Kai He. Today I didn't introduce Kai He opening and closing, but we could add Kai He. So moving to the side, but at the same time the balloon or the ball bigger, smaller, like stretching it, squeezing it, or it's expanding and moving your hands. Or you don't know if you are stretching it or it's expanding. So it's the feeling like, okay, one energy moving your body, at the same time you have feeling that your body is as if meeting some resistance. So this is the developing the feeling of strength. So this is like using traditional concept, the difference between Qi, mind moving Qi moving body, and Jir, the strength, Jir, internal strength. So they are connected. And of course, those movements can change, can mix, and then there will be other movements also practiced in various ways, and gradually you can practice freely. You can practice dance, which is kind of spontaneous, but it's not like for example, there's something which is called Zifa Dungu. This is kind of Qigong when it's like energy moving your body, but it's different because in that kind of practice it's like you have no control. You just let something's happening and you let this happen. And here it's like between, this is called between Yung Yi, using intention, intent, mind, and no Yi, Yo Yi, Wu Yi, Zhan, between conscious and unconscious. So it is not, so you have this kind of feeling of energy, but at the same time you are controlling it, you directing it with your mind, not just letting it move your body. Because in China there were many instances of people who were practicing this way, that energy was moving them and they were not able to control them, and it became a problem. They couldn't stop it, and then they needed to be treated in some mental institutions because of this, because they really had problem. They felt like something was moving them, even if they didn't want this to happen. So this is very different from each one. In each one, it's Yi. It's not Wu Yi completely, but the real way of practice is between Yi and Wu Yi, between conscious and unconscious. This is what we learn in each one from our masters. This is what Wang Xiangjai was saying and what he had written, but it doesn't really come from him. It comes from Xingyi. In older Xingyi classical theories, you already have those concepts. So each one is not really something completely new. Okay, it gives you some new perspectives, but it's still continuing the tradition. Okay, so we did 3 of those movements, and I just demonstrated how you can make gradually changes, so it becomes the each one dance, so-called half dance. Tomorrow we do again the standard Master Yao program, the combative each one. Next week, if someone would be here next week. Next week from Monday till Friday we will have Tai Chi training, Wu style from Guangfu town, Yunnan prefecture. But every day we will start from about 50 minutes of this method. Then next time to learn this method will be in September, from 16th to 21st of September this year in Scalea, Calabria, southern Italy. And generally during next years, when we do summer Yiquan course, we focus on Master Yao method, but on the free day we do a bit of health cultivating using this method. In Italy, in Calabria, the course is also Tai Chi and plus this method. So in the morning we will practice this method, but in the evening we will practice Wu style Tai Chi. In Malta in December we will practice Master Yao method, focusing this year on pushing hands, but generally during next years the Malta course will be about pushing hands and about free fighting. So generally at this moment we have such a plan for every year. Summer in Warsaw, mostly Master Yao program. September in Italy, the health cultivating program. And December in Malta, again, mostly Master Yao program with big focus on free pushing hands and free fight. Okay.